Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, I'm Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Toti.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Man, I can't get enough of the theme song. I've been singing it around all the time. The kids are singing it at home. Man, your brother did such an awesome job with that.
I talked to him this week, and in fact, I went up to see him this week, and he is very excited about that. He loves being a part of it. He listens to every episode. He's glad we could use it.
Yeah, it worked out great.
So thanks, Tom.
Yeah, way to go, Tom. And thank you to the literally thousands of people who tuned in Friday night to watch our first broadcast on Parkland Sports Live. And boy, did we have a great ball game as part of our attraction.
Yes, it was a very good ball game. I was really impressed with the quality. I watched most of the first half before, as I predicted, fell asleep. I want to send a special shout out to the most wonderful Miss Elizabeth, who sent me a text message Friday night and said, "Here I am in Oklahoma going to college. I wouldn't be able to keep up with the Farmington football team this year without the Parkland Podcast." So she was watching all the way from Oklahoma.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks to all the coaches. Thanks to the broadcast team. Thanks to Mother Nature for keeping the rain away. Boy, that looked pretty bad. In fact, we were planning on filming this episode in Deloge Park, but it is pouring outside right now, so we're back at the barn here.
Electrocution was not part of my contract for this podcast.
Mark made a lot of, exceptions to come do a podcast,
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, getting electrocuted was definitely not one of them. Coming up on the show today, we're going to visit with Maddie Erwin. She's one of the organizers of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. We'll also talk to Luann Hornerkamp and Jessica Gruenwald with Visions of Hope. They had a huge ribbon cutting earlier in the week with their facility that does so much for people on the spectrum. Of course, we talk high school sports. Everything is underway. We'll have interviews from the field with both Brian Jones and Eric Krupe, the head coaches of our two respective teams at our broadcast game last night. That'll be coming up in a beefed-up edition of Sports on the Parkland Podcast. Plus, we have big news coming out of the city of Deloge. We have lots of big events. Blues, Brews, and Barbecue will be here before we know it. So there is so much going on and so much to talk about today in episode 13 of the Parkland Podcast.
Lucky 13.
Here's our sponsors for the episode. We always want to thank Parkland Pharmacy, Nicholson Heating and Air, Discover Farmington, First State Community Bank, Save-A-Lot of the Parkland, John Robinson at Pettis Chrysler Automotive, and Heimberger Construction, all sponsoring this episode of the Parkland Podcast. Mark Toti, do you have a totally awesome radio story to share with us?
In honor of the start of the high school football season, I'm going to take you back to I'm not even sure what year this was. It was the early 1990s, maybe late 1980s. Potosi was ranked number 1 in the state in Class 4, I think it was. Valley Catholic was ranked number 1 in the state at that time, and they clashed at Valley Catholic High School. And Steve Bessemer and I were there to broadcast the game. Mike Tebow of the Potosi Trojans, the coach back then, called us the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid of sports broadcasting. And I said, Coach, can you pick up a different reference there? Because it didn't turn out too well for Butch and Sundance at the end. But anyway, it was a great game. It went down to the very final play of the game. Pat Johnson, if you remember Pat Johnson.
Oh, Patrick Johnson was amazing.
Yes.
NFL player.
Yes, he was a big part of this game. But Steve was doing the play-by-play. I was doing the color commentary. And I remember the game ended on the very final play of the game. Potosi threw a touchdown pass in the end zone to win the game on the final play of the game from about 50 yards out. But I still remember the play-by-play. Eaton rolls out of the pocket to his right, heaves it into the end zone, and it is... And I knew at that point in time that Steve Bessemer, who had glasses at the time about that thick, had lost the football.
Oh, no.
So in a real quiet voice, I went, cut. And without missing a hint or a clue, Steve goes, caught! It's caught in the end zone. And Potosi wins the game. So we get back to the radio station, and Mike Ramsey, another good friend of the podcast, he was back there and recording the game for us. And at the time, we recorded everything on cassette tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was pre-computer age for the most part. And I said, man, we were talking... We got to get that on all our highlights.
Yeah.
And we said, Mike, did you record the game okay? And he goes, yeah, listen to this. And we hear the call, and we can hear Steve, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown. And the tape ran out right after that.
Wow.
If the tape had run out 15 seconds earlier, it would have been the best play-by-play call ever, of the best football game ever, that we would have had no record of. The gods of football were looking at us kindly that day.
Indeed, they were. Wow, that's a great story. I love that, and I've heard that before. I think that was always part of your lecture with new employees and recording things and remembering how important that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's all coming back to me 25 years ago in my mind. Very good. That is another totally awesome radio story here on the Parkland Podcast. Heimberger Construction, 431-4387, heimbergerconstruction.com. Ever since Heimberger started advertising, Mark, I'm interested now in buildings in the area and okay, I wonder who built that. I can tell you that Heimberger's got some pretty impressive buildings that you can look at and see their work.
Yeah, all throughout the southeast Missouri area. They've worked with Crown Valley Winery, the Veterinary Clinic of the Mineral Area in Farmington. Griffin Automotive was a big project for them that they were involved in. Paramount Glass, the big expansions in Park Hills. But it's not just in this local area. They get around. They've been with Procter & Gamble, Monsanto, Unilever, and Anheuser-Busch, just to name a few.
And they have the Butler buildings, and they believe they're the best because they have that metal building system that has the pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Basically, what that means is when you use this metal, your insides aren't going to get wet and moldy. And that's a big
huge
deal. That's a big deal. So that's why they use this system with their Butler buildings to make sure that everything stays nice and dry. And not only will your building look nice, it's going to last a lot longer, and you're not going to have to go back in and do some repair work on something you never should have had to do in the past. Check out their work again, all those great examples out there, and the website is beautiful, heimbergerconstruction.com. Since 1978, Heimberger Construction, 431-4387.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
News time on the Parkland Podcast. News is brought to you by First State Community Bank. Success starts here. With 3 locations in Farmington, downtown, Washington, and Karsh, and the Maple Valley Center. Check out their digital banking and all the tools they have for you to be successful with your money. First State Community Bank. Success starts here. Member FDIC.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
It looks like the impeachment process of Desloge Mayor Pete Pasternak is getting a restart. During a special meeting held August 30th, the embattled mayor filed a restraining order accusing the board of not following proper procedures within the impeachment process. At that meeting, the board passed an ordinance to hire a lawyer for the hearings, which will begin on September 10th. Mayor Pasternak has provided this exclusive statement to the Parkland Podcast. He says, quote, "Since taking office, my priority has always been to put the interest of Desloge residents first. I've had numerous disagreements with the Board of Aldermen, including the implementation of a trash fee on residents, water rates, salaries, drainage issues, city treasurer, and the budget, with me always being on the side of the residents. This has led to 5 out of 6 members of the Board of Aldermen pursuing a politically motivated impeachment against me. And in a rush to accomplish their goal of removing me from office, the Board of Aldermen has disregarded state law and Desloge City Code through the impeachment process. The chief architects, Pasternak alleges, behind the impeachment scheme are Alderman John Wigger and Alderman Kelly Harris, who happen to be brother and sister. In articles of impeachment, there are multiple false allegations, including numerous allegations involving the Director of Public Works. It's important to note that Alderman Harris is married to the Director of Public Works, while Alderman Wigger is his brother-in-law. In late June, Alderman Wigger voted for nearly an $11,000 raise for his brother-in-law, while other hardworking employees got substantially less, including only $250 for another department head. I objected to those actions by vetoing the budget, but the Board of Aldermen overrode my veto and pushed the budget through. At the next Board of Aldermen meeting in July, the Board of Aldermen hired special counsel for the impeachment process, but they did not follow state law and city code to do so. The Board of Aldermen attempted to subject me to an impeachment hearing while refusing to follow city code and state law in that impeachment process, leading to the hiring of a temporary restraining order last Thursday. At that hearing, I was granted a temporary restraining order. It should be noted that Alderman Debbie Kester has not taken part in this scheme by the Desloge Board of Aldermen. And again, this is a direct quote statement from Pete Pasternak. And now a statement from Alderman Wigger. As a member of the Desloge Board elected by the people of this community, I can confidently say that everyone on the board is here because we care deeply about Desloge and want to contribute positively to our city's future. Unfortunately, there have been some rumors and false statements circulating, so I want to set the record straight. To clarify, the mayor is not going through the impeachment process because of his opinions. A board exists to represent a range of perspectives, and debate is a healthy part of that process. We often have different viewpoints, which is why decisions are made collectively rather than by one individual. However, there have been decisions and actions taken by the mayor that have led us to consider the possibility of impeachment. These concerns are not about personal opinions, but about what is in the best interest of our city. I believe we've reached a point where further inaction could have serious negative consequences for Desloge. If we ignore these issues now, We risk facing even greater challenges in the future, and I don't want people asking why we didn't take action when we had the chance. I believe I am doing what is right, guided by my faith and morals. Regarding my vote on the budget, I want to clarify that I never voted on individual salaries. Our city administrator spent a year researching comparable salaries in cities of our size to ensure we were fair and equitable. All salaries were adjusted to be in line with where they should have been. I believe our city administrator did an excellent job. The Budget Committee, which included the mayor, presented the budget to the board as a whole with minimal discussion. I voted to approve the overall budget, not singling out any specific salaries. I stand by my vote and believe it was ethical. This instance was already reported to the Missouri Ethics Commission and ruled unsubstantiated and will not be investigated any further. The mayor had the opportunity to discuss the budget in committee meetings, but chose to veto it after it had been approved. As a board member, I have one vote, and I believe in the checks and balances of the board system. If I ever felt that my actions were against the moral or ethical standards expected by the majority of residents or board, I would resign immediately. During the upcoming trial, every article of impeachment will be presented, argued, and voted on. The mayor will have every opportunity to present evidence on his own behalf and defend himself against the articles, and no final vote will be taken until after he has had that opportunity. This is the first time the board has gone through something like this, and we are doing our best to ensure everything is handled correctly and fairly. This is not a situation anyone on the board wanted to face, and I apologize for the turmoil it has caused our city. We shouldn't have gone through this, but sometimes standing up for what you believe is right involves difficult and uncomfortable decisions. I genuinely believe that this is one of those times. Thank you for your understanding, and God bless. Again, that is a statement from Deloge Alderman John Wigger.
St. Francis County has received over $1.5 million through an opioid settlement. A special committee has been formed, and so far the committee has awarded right at $200,000 for 3 projects. A grant of nearly $73,000 has been presented to the Sheriff's Department. The St. Francis County Community Partnership has received over $25,000 in funding, and SEMO Behavioral Health over $98,000. That money goes to organizations that are fighting the opioid epidemic. There are a number of qualifications that do have to be met in order to qualify for the funding. St. Francis County Treasurer Parks Peterson says they hope to open up another round of funding by the end of the year. The county is hoping for more response, as only 4 agencies applied for the money during the last cycle. If you have questions about eligibility, all you need to do is contact Parks Peterson or Harold Gallagher.
Judge Bryce Sechrist is taking over as the 24th Judicial Circuit Judge sooner than expected. The Park Hills man defeated Gerald Poore in the August primaries. Poore then decided to resign after the election, and Governor Mike Parson appointed Sechrist to the bench. Sechrist does not face a challenger in the November election.
A devastating house fire in Park Hills has left 2 families with nothing but the clothes on their back. Donations are being accepted at any Central School District building to help out the 6 students who lost everything. Essential items like clothing, school supplies, toiletries, and monetary donations are being accepted.
Park Hills City Administrator Zach Franklin has been working on a grant for the city for up to $750,000 in funding. The grant would be for street paving in the city and will be focused on certain areas depending on the median household income outlined by the grant requirements.
Dine Out for the United Way of St. Francis County kicks off this month starting September 12th. You can dine at an area restaurant, and part of the proceeds will go to the United Way of St. Francis County. Colton Steakhouse will be the first restaurant, September 12th.
And Mineral Area College raffling off a custom-built 16-foot tandem axle utility trailer crafted by the welding students to raise funds for future welding projects. If you'd like to get involved in that, you can contact the MAC Foundation, Mineral Area College, or go to their website at mineralarea.edu. And that's your latest news here on the Parkland Podcast. News brought to you by First State Community Bank with 3 locations, downtown Farmington, Washington, and Karsh, and the Maple Valley Center. First State Community Bank, success starts here. Member FDIC. Save-A-Lots at the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Park Hills, Potosi, and Farmington. They were involved as one of the sponsors of the big backpack tailgate event at the Farmington North County game the other night. And I had the brisket and a brownie and a Mountain Dew, and it was one of the best football dinners I have had. I don't know where that brisket came from, if that was a Save-A-Lot deal or if that was Bill Cotton's, or maybe somebody just like brought it and said, here, throw this in with your fundraiser. But, boy, it was so good, and they had a great crowd over there. Save-A-Lot always looking to get involved in community events, and their Facebook page is very active as well, Mark.
That's right. They've got all kinds of specials on their Facebook page. And one of the things I like the best about Save-A-Lot, though, is they stand behind their products. They have a 100% money-back guarantee that they offer as well. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you probably won't need to use that.
I don't think so. And I'm always shopping around, looking for new items to talk about on the podcast. Bailey Joe's, again, the sauces.
They had a big deal on from Bailey Joe's. They did a big giveaway with that this past week as well. And you got to love the fact that they have a butcher that puts out fresh meat every day.
Yeah, and all the locations, not just one, and ship it out. It's butchers in those meat shops, making sure that your meat is fresh. Check them out, Save-A-Lots of the Parkland. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington.
Hi folks, John Robinson here at Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter right here in Farmington. You know, I want to take a minute here to invite everybody out. My role has kind of switched. I decided to take on a new role, 33 years in the car business and management, and I'm kind of stepping back a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm helping. I want to serve all the people that come in and ask for me. I'll handle the whole process from A to Z right here. So no running back and forth. It's going to be easy. We've got just about anything that anybody is looking for, and if we don't have it in a vehicle, I'll get it. I'll find it. So my cell phone is 573-701-8002. You can call me or text me at any time. I'll promptly respond 7 days a week, 24/7 if I'm awake. So just come on out and see me. I'll be glad to help you. It'd be my privilege to serve you. Put all my years of experience to work for you. So come on out once again. Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter, Fairgrounds exit just north of Farmington.
Birthdays, anniversaries are brought to you by Nicholson Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment anytime, anywhere, online at callnicholson.com or pick up the phone and dial 756-3599. They're the home of the 1 hour appointment. If they tell you they're going to be there between 12 and 1, they will be there between 12 and 1, and on and on. That's what Nicholson does.
Imagine a home where every season feels just right. At Nicholson Heating and Air in Farmington, we turn that dream into your everyday reality. From frosty winters to sizzling summers, our expert team ensures your home stays perfect. Plus, with our easy financing options, comfort is more affordable than ever. Don't wait. Visit callnicholson.com or stop by our Farmington location today. Nicholson Heating and Air, where your comfort is our command.
And there is a very special birthday. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way right now on Labor Day. In fact, everybody gets the day off not only at Nicholson, but all over the state of Missouri and all over the nation in honor of Dylan Nicholson's birthday. Happy birthday, birthday guy. Hope it's an awesome day for you.
The D-Man, the D-Meister, Dylan, having a birthday, eating some cake, maybe a little ice cream. Dylan, thank you for being a huge part of the Parkland podcast, and thanks for everything you do in the community. You are one heck of a good guy and got a great family.
Absolutely. Who else you got for Monday, September 2nd?
Oh, lots of birthdays. Kim Johnson celebrates a birthday today. I went to Kim's wedding to Stacy Johnson. Now, you know Stacy too, right? Stacy's about 5 feet tall.
Yes. And he
Kim's about
makes a
6
good
feet
joke
tall.
out of it, too.
Oh, when I went to their wedding reception, they had the wedding cake, and on it they had two little figures there, and the little man was about this tall, and the woman was about this tall on top of the cake. Anyway, Stacy always says he wanted to marry a woman he could look up to, and with Kim, he definitely Definitely has that. Kim, happy birthday to you. You are awesome. That's from Stacy and all your girls and all the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also want to say happy birthday to Robin Melton. She was a longtime instructor at the Farmington School District. And Larry Lacey celebrates a birthday on Monday, a longtime policeman for the city of Farmington. His son, Derek, worked at our radio station, met his future bride who worked at the radio station at the same time. So there you go. Larry, happy birthday to you. Lots to like about Larry. Maybe the most important thing is I think he's older than me.
Ah, yes, that's always a plus.
And it's not very often that happens.
What about Tuesday, September 3rd?
Tuesday, the Boozenbark clan celebrating a double birthday. Gary Boozenbark celebrating a birthday on Tuesday, and Chad Boozenbark celebrating a birthday on Tuesday. So there's going to be a lot of candles lit up on Tuesday at the Boozenbark household. Debbie Hain married to Howard Hain. Debbie was a longtime employee and at one time the director of the St. Francis County Health Center. Happy birthday to you, young lady.
Boy, she got out at the right time, didn't she?
She sure did.
Retired and everything went
right
crazy.
Before COVID came. Now she's stuck with keeping Howard out of trouble, which may be the hardest job of all. And happy birthday going out to Molly Morgan. Molly, at one time, she's a Farmington High School graduate. She was not only the Country Days queen, she was also the St. Francis County Fair queen. Now she's married, got a couple of kiddos. She's a really sweet gal, Molly. Happy birthday to you.
My old neighbor, David Black, with a birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday to him. Hope it's a great day as well. How about Wednesday, September 4th?
Wednesday, September 4th, Sherry Thomas celebrating a birthday. Now, Sherry is helping to organize the big John Thomas benefit that we've been telling you about for the past couple of weeks on the podcast. So, Sherry, I'm going to guess 29 for your age. I'm
Probably
not
safe.
100% sure, but we'll go with 29. Looking forward to this weekend and the John Thomas Memorial Scholarship Fund at St. Paul Elementary School in Farmington. I mentioned Jen Lacey, who married Derek Lacey, the son of Larry Lacey.
Yeah.
Jen's birthday is
whole
coming
Lacey
up
lineage.
on Wednesday as well. Now, she was an intern when she was at Farmington High School, and she would come on the morning show with me, and we called her Intern Jenny. And as she got older, she changed her name to Jen, but I said, you're always going to be Intern Jenny to me. And she was okay with that. She's now they got a couple of kids, and she is just a good girl. Happy birthday to you. John Dominic, my buddy, does a lot of good work for veterans. Saw him over the weekend. Happy birthday to you from your wife, Donna, and your family. And somebody I think you also have on your list, Ginger Pizarro.
Ginger's awesome.
Ginger is a good girl, does a lot of
Absolutely.
work for veterans as well.
I also want to wish a happy birthday to Mrs. Barn, Sarah Winch, wife of Chad Winch, celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Sarah. Hope it's a great day for you. Hope your school year is going awesome. And Jason Teasley with a birthday today, owner of the Asler Theater, downtown Park Hills. Happy birthday to Jason. What about Thursday, September 5th?
Thursday, hey, a really good football player and wrestler back in the day for Farmington High School, Michael Hahn.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrates
I remember him.
a birthday today. That's when I was still doing play-by-play, and I was doing Farmington football play-by-play. And, you know, when Michael got the ball and he would, like, run around to the outside, there might be three defenders coming up on him. He didn't take the easy way out and just step out of bounds.
No.
He went right into
Yeah.
He loved the contact. And I don't know if he was a better football player or a better wrestler, but he's turned out to be a heck of a good guy. He's got a great wife. And Hillary, hello, Hillary, how are you? And she's got kids. They've got some kids, and one of them is a really good wrestler as well. So, Michael, happy birthday to you. Lisa Gibson, happy birthday to you, young lady. She's got a twins that go to Farmington High School. Really sweet kids. I knew them since they were very young. They would always call me Marky Mark.
Nice.
So, there you go.
And the Funky Bunch.
Kara McDowell, she works over at the Farmington Animal Hospital. Happy birthday to you, Kara. She's a heck of a good girl. And Candace Archer. Got to know Candace when she worked at the Farmington Civic Center back in the day. She's now living, I want to say, either just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, or Georgia. I can't really remember. She's a good bunker girl, though. So happy birthday to you, Candace. I hope you're doing great.
I got a bunch of birthdays that day as well. Matt Caroline of Deloge with a birthday. Happy birthday, Matt. Gary Black. Graduated with Gary Black from North County High School. You know, you always have that one person in your running crew that's, you know, like ruthless, the one that will always, you know, take you up on the dare.
As Gary?
That was Gary. And now Gary is paying for it as he has a beautiful teenage daughter, and everything is now coming back to Gary. Happy
Coming
birthday.
back to haunt you, buddy.
Shelly Peterson with a birthday today. Happy birthday to Shelly again for Thursday, September 5th. Let me tell you about Hoghead Holsey.
First of all, best name ever.
I know, right? Hoghead Holsey has he had a kid, a son or daughter in the North County School District in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2000 teens.
The man knows how to procreate.
He does. Happy birthday, Hoghead. Saw him at the football game on the sidelines. Got the beard rocking. Always good to see the head of hog. And Tanner Martinez, Bismarck High School graduate. He and Carter Shepard were national champions in Unitech robotics a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And Tanner's mom's the principal at Bismarck, and his aunt's the counselor at Unitech. So Tanner's a great guy. Happy birthday, buddy. Hopefully you're making robots to protect us and not kill us.
Yeah, please.
How about Friday, September 6th?
Lots of good birthdays to pass along to you. Stephen Henty, our buddy Stephen Henty, married to Candy.
Yes, Steve is awesome. Great
Director
piano
of the
player.
Farmington Chamber. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Sally Colwell celebrates a birthday. She's in the real estate market, does a great job every year. I help to MC a big event for the Mineral Area Realtors, and she helps me out a lot with that. Sally, happy birthday to you. Michelle King celebrates a birthday. Now, this is the Michelle King married to Pastor King, a longtime pastor at St. Paul Lutheran Church several years ago. Michelle, happy birthday to you. Patsy Skiles. Remember?
Love to shop.
That's
at
right.
Patsy's.
That's Miss Patsy. She's celebrating a birthday on Friday as well. Emily Stroop celebrates a birthday on Friday. Miss Emily, happy birthday to you. She's married to the son of Steve Stroop, who for a while was the owner of Spokes Pub and Grill. Awesome. So, and she goes to St. Paul Lutheran Church. Happy birthday to you, Emily.
I got Casey Murphy, who is one of the top photographers in the area. I love saying words like photographers. And the students correct me.
Not to mention photographers, right?
Right. But Casey does tremendous work and is really creative. And she is like the go-to person for like senior pictures and stuff like that in the north end of the county. Does great work. Happy birthday, Casey, from your son, your daughter, your husband, and the whole family. Saturday, September 7th. We got a lot of people this day, too.
Including Christy Camp. Christy is a fabulous human being. She has a lot of great qualities, but one of her best qualities is she has managed to keep Greg Camp on the straight and narrow. And we both know firsthand that's a full-time job.
Absolutely.
The only thing I can't figure out is why she looks so much younger than Greg. It has to be good living.
Yeah, and she is, too.
And she is. And the fact that she is, yes. Alex Puig, happy birthday to you. I think she's originally an Ellington girl. I got to know her when she worked at Sticks and Steins for a while, but then she got married, has a couple of really good-looking kids, and now lives, I think, in Florida. So happy birthday to you. Elise Schmidt celebrates a birthday. Elise is one of my favorite people. She's from this area, but she was a school teacher for a bunch of years in and around the Arnold area, and now she's doing other things, but she is a real sweetheart. And a couple of guys I know you have on your birthday wish, and I'm going to leave them to you, even though Dave Burke, his nickname was the Red-Headed Tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's the No-Haired Tornado. But I'll leave Mr. Redeker to you.
Happy birthday, David.
Yes.
Adam Big Sweaty
Big
Redeker
Sweaty.
celebrating a birthday on Saturday. I guess a couple weeks ago we had a post on our Facebook page. Now that school's back in session, what was your go-to lunch item? And I don't know if I've ever seen my cousin comment more on a Facebook post than he did on that one. But love you, cuz. And girls are getting so big. And
yes, they are tall.
Awesome. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you this. I knew that his nickname was Big Sweaty, but then I saw him at a fundraiser for Brenda Jordan back in May, and they were playing volleyball. And I got a first-hand glimpse as to why they call him Big Sweaty.
Yeah.
He was already just the sweaty mess, and it was his second T-shirt already.
Yeah. I wish when we were setting up at the football game Friday night, I forgot some equipment, and the wife had to run it out to me at the field. And when she pulled up, she goes, "Man, I wish I would have brought you another shirt." And I looked down, and I mean, it's just soaked. It's in the jeans. Happy birthday, Adam. And Cody Asher celebrating a birthday on Saturday as well. Happy birthday, Cody. I think Cody and Adam both tag teamed that post about food and everything at the Central Cellar. How about birthdays for Sunday, September 8th?
Sunday, Alex Gearsey celebrates a birthday. He grew up going to St. Paul and then Farmington High School. Now he's living in the Cape Girardeau area, but he's got a lot of good folks that still go to St. Paul Lutheran Church. Alex, you're a good kid. He was a really good basketball player back in the day. Happy birthday to you. Brent Lundstrom celebrates a birthday today. You know the old saying, that dude is full of you-know-what?
Yeah, that's him.
Brent, he's a super likable guy, but he's more full of you-know-what than most people you will ever meet in your life. But he makes it interesting to have a good conversation with. For guys like us that have to talk a lot for a living, it's nice, and you just want to sit back and listen sometimes. He's the guy you want to talk to.
Awesome.
And Terry Grindstaff, happy birthday wishes to you. First State Community Bank, First State Bank Shares. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
How about Deloge and West County legend Lindy LaChance, part of the Baby Boomer Show, Black River Electric Cooperative. Lindy's a great guy, and I hope you have a great birthday, buddy, from the wife and the kids. And Laura Higgins, happy birthday to you, Laura. Hope the hubby and the kids do something very, very nice for you, and you have an awesome day, and you don't have to fix anybody's plumbing. There you go. Those are your birthdays, anniversaries. They are brought to you by Nicholson Heated and Air. Don't forget to wish Dylan Nicholson a happy birthday on
Happy birthday,
Monday.
Dylan.
756-3599. No dispatch fees. Call Nicholson.com.
One quick birthday to add in.
Who?
Ann Johnson.
Did we miss her?
Ann Johnson celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to you, the Queen Bee of Subway.
I'm so glad you saw that. Happy birthday, Ann.
Make sure Mike buys you something expensive for your birthday.
Yes, and not just a foot-long cookie.
Yes.
Let's check out the events page brought to you by Discover Farmington. More than you ever imagined. You can go to discoverfarmingtonmo.com, find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more, and details galore about Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, September the 20th.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
They'll be serving up a free meal with Mom's Cafe coming up Wednesday at 5:30 at the Methodist Church in Farmington.
There's a cool 70s party September 6th at 7 o'clock at Four Towns Brewery to benefit the Mineral Area Walk to End Alzheimer's.
We hope you're hungry on Saturday. There's a big kettle beef dinner starting at 4 o'clock at the Farmington Senior Center.
And you'll be checking out this dude working hard at the John Thomas Memorial Scholarship Fundraiser. That's also on Saturday, September 7th, and that is at St. Paul Elementary School.
Great barbecue, chicken, silent auction, so much more. The Living Well Project having a big fish fry on Sunday the 8th starting at noon at Parkland Chapel Church in Farmington.
And you can learn to paddle at St. Joe State Park September 14th or October 12th. Just $5 to participate. Register at mostateparks.com/learn2paddle.
Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, one of my favorite events of the year, coming up September 20th and 21st in downtown Farmington.
There's going to be a fall art show September 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Long Hall in Farmington.
There's a fall family hayride coming up Thursday and Thursdays as a whole in October at Ingler Park.
They're going to throw in the s'mores and the bonfire for you. And the Erica Wade Foundation has a 5K run October 5th in Farmington with all the proceeds benefiting Shriners Hospital. That is our events page brought to you by Discover Farmington. Mark, I know Blues, Brews, and Barbecues is just around the corner. And man, there's so much to do those 2 days.
Going to be a great time. They'll have barbecue competitions. They'll have food trucks. They'll have plenty to drink. It's a fun 2 days. The only thing we would suggest is maybe bring a lawn chair.
There you go.
They'll have some seating there, but if you bring a lawn chair, you'll be much more comfortable.
And complete details, lineups, information about the artist, all online, discoverfarmingtonmo.com. And while you're there finding out information about Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, you might even book a day trip or a wedding. All the information is there to help you out. All the links, all the beautiful pictures, find them online, discoverfarmingtonmo.com. And Discover Farmington brings us your events page.
Hi, Kristen.
Parkland Pharmacy is so good to me and my family. We have a few prescriptions that we need to get filled every month, and they're always there to help us out anytime we need it. I go to the Deloche store, Mark goes to the Farmington store, and again, brokered record, totally true. Customer service, unbelievable.
Great people to deal with, great people to work with. When you're getting prescriptions filled, sometimes you don't really know what you're talking about, or maybe it's just me.
No, it's me too, dude.
Yeah, it's nice to have people there that will take you by the hand and lead you through. And you know, we're into September now. We're getting close to the change of season. That means colds, sinuses, flu. They have everything you need to keep you as healthy as possible at Parkland Pharmacy.
And the medical equipment, too. We don't talk about that enough. If you need diabetic shoes or maybe some things around the house to help out with mobility issues, Parkland Pharmacy can take care of that as well.
And if you have questions about Medicare, go see Judy Boring. She goes from pharmacy to pharmacy. She is an expert at making sure you get the right Medicare plan for you.
6 locations there in Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville. Local pharmacy at its finest at Parkland Pharmacy. They're the friendly first, their first state community bank. You can almost sing that in your head. We love the 3 locations in Farmington, of course, the downtown location, the location at the corner of Karsh and Washington, as along with Maple Valley. The branch at Farmington High School is now open. I think they've already run out of suckers after just 1 week of having the doors open. But a great learning opportunity for some really bright seniors at Farmington that maybe want to go into the financial industry. And I'm sure, like every other place, First State Community Bank is probably hiring right now, too, I would assume.
I would think so. And if you want to work for a great company that offers room for advancement, they're the folks to go. But if you're going to go and work for First State Community Bank, let me tell you right now, you better be personable. You better be friendly. You better be ready to smile, because those are 3 huge things that First State Community Bank stresses. They are so involved in the community, not just in Farmington, but throughout all their different locations throughout the state of Missouri. They are some of the best people you'll ever want to work with.
And they have, all the advantages that pretty much all the banks have with online banking, with your debit card, things like that. But again, what sets them apart is that service, is that community involvement, and that's what you get every time at First State Community Bank. Visit any of their 3 Farmington locations or find them online at fscb.com. First State Community Bank, member FDIC. Back on the Parkland podcast now, and we're going to talk about a big event coming to the area. And we have with us the Walk to End Alzheimer's Walk Manager for Southeast Missouri, Maddie Erwin. Maddie,
Hello.
thanks for coming on the show. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here.
Tell us about this big walk that is coming up.
Yeah. So we're having the Walk to End Alzheimer's at Mineral Area College. It's going to be on September 28th, and it's going to be in the morning. So we are planning to walk off at about 9:45, but registration will open at 8:30. So it's going to be a whole morning affair. We're going to be walking around the quad, probably around the parking lot as well for our more people who want to walk farther, because I know the quad might not be long enough for everybody, but we want it to be, it's entirely handicap accessible as well. So we want everybody to come out, and nothing should limit you. Even if you're like, oh, I don't really walk that far, if you can walk to the quad from the parking lot, you can make it around the quad. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, we're going to have a barbecue and hot dogs. We've got lots of games to play, some music. We're going to have a ton of fun.
Maddie, it's been a heck of a year for you. You've had a name change, a job change. You've had a lot of things going on. Give us a little background on Maddie Erwin.
The Maddie Erwin. So, yep, I was Maddie Laswitz, so I got married. So my husband, Caleb Erwin, is out there right now, I think still sleeping, so he's having a good morning.
Yeah, good for him.
I was working with the Scouts, and then I had an opportunity to come up working for the Alzheimer's Association, and I lost one grandfather to Alzheimer's, and I have one that's living with it. So it was a very personal matter for me, and so that's why I really decided to come and try my best to make a difference. I talked to my grandmother, who's the caretaker for, for my grandfather that's living with Alzheimer's pretty regularly, and it's a full-time job for her. I mean, she has to keep an eye on him. He was an engineer with a degree from Yale. He's very, very smart.
Wow, right.
And for a while, he was just taking things apart. Like, he'd just take apart the TV and then not remember how to put it back together. So or the table, and then you're like, what do I do with that? So there's just a whole nother level of care that goes into that. There's 6 million people that are living with Alzheimer's in America right now. That's 1 in 3 people that will develop it. It's really affecting more people than you think of. And the caretakers, that's a whole job. There's more people out there that are taking care of those individuals, and they're not getting compensated nearly as much as they should be. That's just family. You have to take care of your family. And luckily, through the Alzheimer's Association, we can provide them with grants, some funding month to month to help kind of offset some of those costs of you can't work nearly as much, or just to make the house safe, because there's different things that you have to consider there, which is really something awesome that I think that they're doing. And even on top of that, we're coming up with preventatives. There's medications now. So it's all about catching Alzheimer's and dementia early. There are people that it's extending their life. It's extending their quality of life. Really, just catching it early can make the world a difference.
And there's different degrees, and I guess the human brain acts different depending on the person. My grandma was the sweetest person. Even though she didn't know who I was 90% of the time, she was just always nice. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes people can kind of go the other way with it. Kind of talk a little bit about things that the association does to help out caregivers, help out people that are dealing with family members, find resources, and do a better job of taking care of their family.
Yeah, so there's a number of different types of Alzheimer's and dementia. Dementia is the overall term that encompasses Alzheimer's specifically and other areas. So kind of that process of, if it's early stages, people might get aggressive. They feel uncomfortable. They're nervous to a point where it's just part of life. You might be asking the same question multiple times a day, multiple times an hour. You don't really know anymore. So there's different stages of Alzheimer's, and there's different categories as well. So it's kind of hard to explain. But dementia is the overall term that encompasses everything. And one of the things that we have through the Alzheimer's Association is a 24/7 hotline with master's level clinicians. So not regular old schmucks like me who are trying their best to answer the questions, but people who actually know what they're talking about. So that is 800-272-3675. 3900. So anybody can call that number any time of day, and they should do their best to answer questions. So if you're living with Alzheimer's and you're not really sure what to do next or where to go, they can call that. Caretakers who are not really sure what to do or where to go find those resources, they can call that as well. And then we're also working on developing some caretaker support groups in the area, which is really awesome. There's one at Cedarhurst right now. Yeah. I don't know exactly when they meet, but I think it's a Thursday. Anyways, you could call them. They know where it is. Mm-hmm. And we're working on developing a few more of those for people so that they can go get the help that they need.
So we want to know what's going to happen at the walk to tackle heart disease. But before that, I know there's a couple of big fundraisers coming up you wanted to mention.
Yeah, so we have some fun stuff coming up. Let me make sure I have all my notes ready. Awesome. Okay, so if you wanted to come support it, if you don't really want to walk, but you maybe want to help us raise funds and have a good time, we're going to have a 70s party over at Four Towns Brewing in Park Hills. It's going to be September 6th, so this Friday, at 7 o'clock. And we are it's free to enter, but we have a $10 recommendation of a donation as you come in. That way we can kind of help with the decorations and the fun stuff and, help it go towards the walk. We're going to have silent auction items, a raffle. We're going to have a best costume contest, so I better see some good outfits. I know I got mine picked out. We're going to have musical bingo and some other games. It's going to be a ton of fun.
And then if you have, if you love wings, you've got another big event coming up.
Yes, so we're going to have a give back night at Buffalo Wild Wings on September 25th. I think that's all day too. So anytime you go, if you just mention the Walk to End Alzheimer's, some of your, I think 20% of your bill will go back to the association. And then on September 18th, we're doing the same thing at Panera between 4 to 8. So you go in, order something good, and make sure to mention the Walk to End Alzheimer's, so part of that funds goes back.
Nice. So you have those fundraisers coming up before the event. Mm-hmm. How does the event generate funding? Kind of tell us how that works.
Yeah, so it's free to register to walk. Mm-hmm. We kind of like other walks for other associations. You build a team. We suggest that you make a self-donation or a personal donation, but you don't have to. And then we kind of raise all the funds that we can before the walk. So the walk is the celebration of we hit our fundraising goal. We get to celebrate the impact that we're making on our community. And then we'll have a ceremony. We display, one of the big things we have are the different color flowers. So I've got like some flowers on my shirt, and you'll always see flowers on the different flyers. And those represent people living with Alzheimer's, people who are caretakers, someone who has lost someone to Alzheimer's, and then we really celebrate the one cure that will come, that's coming. So I think it'll happen in our lifetime, actually. It's really coming up fast, and you can hear a lot of people in the Alzheimer's Association talking about we're in the era of a cure. We're in the era of prevention, so...
You've only been with the association for a couple of months now, right?
Yeah.
Imagine not so much this year, but next year when you have had a year to work on this.
Next year is going to be amazing.
Yeah. You'll know what you're doing, right?
Oh, yeah. Fake it till you make it right now, but
we're faking it pretty well.
Yeah. No, it's going to be, this year will be good, but next year it's going to be a really great one. I'm excited.
Talk about the partnership with Mineral Area College, how great it is for them to donate the facility to make this happen.
We are so thankful that Mineral Area College is letting us use their space. I'm sure we're going to get some student volunteers, which will be awesome. Yeah. It's a beautiful space right there in the middle of campus. And we're really excited to be able to walk around there. Some other shout-outs I'd like to do is Serenity Hospice and Parkland Health Center are our two biggest sponsors right now. And so they're really helping us make that possible in this event. We're really excited to have them on board.
Is it too late to become a sponsor?
It's not too late. It's too late to get on the back of our T-shirts for this year, but it's not too late to become a sponsor. So they can... find more information, just search Walk to End Alzheimer's Mineral Area. It'll be the first one that'll come up, and all my contact information is right there. So you can definitely reach out about some sponsorship or booth options. We love to make it a party.
So even if you haven't done anything for the Alzheimer's Association up until seeing it on the podcast and you want to get involved, it's not too late, is it?
It is not too late. You could show up the day of and walk with us. We'll absolutely love to have you there.
Very good. Again, Maddie Erwin with the Walk to End Alzheimer's. That's happening at Mineral Area College on Saturday, September 28th. What other information do we need to get out to people, not only about this event, but about the organization in general?
Well, really, that hotline is a super important resource. I know that we're trying to put out more flyers and more information for people, and I can make sure to leave you guys with some if you'd like.
Sure, yeah.
And, just coming to the walk will open your eyes to the other resources that are available in our area.
And what time should they be there?
8:30 is registration, and we walk off at 9:45, so be there before 9:30.
And for folks who have other things going on during the day, about how long will it take?
We will be wrapped up and done by noon. So it's just a morning event to come and celebrate, talk with some friends, meet other people in the area who are dealing with the same issue, and find some more support and resources for yourself.
Awesome.
Very good. Maddie Erwin, we can find all this information online, Facebook, Instagram. I'm sure you guys got that all covered too.
So we have a Facebook group. It's just Walk to End Alzheimer's Mineral Area.
Okay.
And then we also just search on Google really easily. It's just Walk to End Alzheimer's Mineral Area right there. It'll show up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Maddie Erwin. She is the walk manager for Southeast Missouri, and she's here to tell us about this big event happening Saturday, September 28th at Mineral Area College, the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and she's been our guest on the Parkland Podcast. Heimberger Construction, 431-4387, heimbergerconstruction.com. Ever since Heimberger started advertising, Mark, I'm like interested now in buildings in the area and like, okay, I wonder who built that. I wonder who built that. I can tell you that Heimberger's got some pretty impressive buildings that you can look at and see their work.
Yeah, all throughout the southeast Missouri area. They've worked with Crown Valley Winery, the Veterinary Clinic of the Mineral Area in Farmington. Griffin Automotive was a big project for them that they were involved in. Paramount Glass, the big expansions in Park Hills. But it's not just in this local area. They get around. They've been with Procter & Gamble, Monsanto, Unilever, and Anheuser-Busch, just to name a few.
And they have the Butler buildings, and they believe they're the best because they have that metal building system that has the pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Basically, what that means is when you use this metal, your insides aren't going to get wet and moldy. And that's a big
huge
deal. That's a big deal. So that's why they use this system with their Butler buildings to make sure that everything stays nice and dry. And not only will your building look nice, it's going to last a lot longer, and you're not going to have to go back in and do some repair work on something you never should have had to do in the past. Check out their work again, all those great examples out there, and the website is beautiful, heimbergerconstruction.com. Since 1978, Heimberger Construction, 431-4387. Nicholson Heating and Air, give it up for the birthday boy, Dylan Nicholson. His company is always fast, they're always reliable, and they're always transparent. They have the 1-hour appointment. It was always a joke about the cable guy back in the day. You make the appointment, they might be there, they might not. Nicholson takes that very seriously, and they make sure that they adhere to that every time.
I love dealing with Dylan Nicholson, whether it's something for Nicholson Heating and Air or just at a Chamber of Commerce event, because I know if he's involved with it, it's going to turn out well. He's going to put his heart and soul into it as well, and that's the same approach he takes to his business.
Yeah, he wants you to become a Premium Club member. With the Premium Club membership, you get great advantages like an annual heating and AC inspection in all units of your home, 15% discount on all Nicholson services, as well as new and upgraded HVAC equipment, 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency heating and air service, VIP priority service and repairs from dedicated service technicians, and no dispatch fees, which will save you $85 right there. Ask about Premium Club membership by calling 756-3599 or go online. You can even make your appointment there at callnicholson.com.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
Luann Hornerkamp and Jessica Gruenwald joining us now. They are the owners of Dress to Impress and the organizers of Visions of Hope and Hope for Autism. Ladies, you had a big celebration on Tuesday marking a special anniversary. Tell us about that.
Yes, so it's unbelievable that here we are at 8 years and we had an expansion that we were doing a ribbon cutting for. So we had a great turnout, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the expansion includes a classroom/boardroom, a new office space for Luann, an online room because we're going to be start doing online sales for Dress to Impress, and a nursery for her grandbaby and for my baby. So I can work back there because my new office is actually tucked away in the nursery.
Well, let's talk first of all about the whole purpose of Dress to Impress and Visions of Hope.
So Dress to Impress was created so that we would have a platform for our interns who are teens and adults with autism to have a platform where we could teach vocational and social skills. They get up to 120 hours of work experience here in the store, and so that's what we are helping them to gain work experience through those.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about this expansion now.
Yeah, so we were really excited that Luann got to move up from the dungeon. Now, she was in the basement for a long time. It's a really beautiful office space, but really what's important is the classroom. So she teaches classes, whether it be for Visions of Hope or our Peers program, so it's a nice space for that, and also for us to have meetings in. And the online room will hold only the items that I'm selling online, and so all of those items will be items with price tags that have never been worn. So it's exciting for us to help us build even more revenue. And of course, the nursery is exciting to watch our kids grow and be able to have a safe place for them while they are here visiting with us if we happen to be working, or we're here a lot of times just working outside of work. So we're really excited about that, and all of the community support and everybody that came out to celebrate with us.
You had a great reception for the ribbon cutting, but it's been a great 8 years as far as how the public's taken to you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. We couldn't be more pleased with our community and all of the support that they've given us through the years. We really couldn't do any of it without the community, and we've been just overwhelmed with the generosity from our community.
As far as the future goes, I know normally you have a little thing called Inspiration on the runway, but that's going to go on hiatus for a year?
Yes, so we're taking some extra time on this planning, but it will be October 16th, 2025, and so you'll definitely be hearing more about that over a spread out amount of time, because we have some new ideas this year to share and lead up to that. And then we also, of course, not until next April, but we'll have Autos for Autism. But I forgot, for Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, we do have a car show that we're partnering with MoDubs, so it'll be VWs again, and they're an awesome group. We also, September 29th, there will be a charity disc golf tournament in St. John at Pere Marquette. So if anybody's interested in that, be watching Dress to Impress, Visions of Hope, Hope for Autism, Facebook for that information.
If folks want to help out, want to be a part of your mission, how do they do so?
Sure, so they can check out any of those Facebook pages that Jessica just mentioned. They can also go to our website, hope4autism.org, or they can give us a call, 573-664-1711. They can also stop by Dress to Impress, and that's in beautiful downtown Farmington.
Is there anything else, Jessica, you want folks to know?
We are praying about special people to come and help us. We need some more volunteers, so cultivating a bigger pool of volunteers. So if you're interested in that, definitely come by and talk to us.
An hour a day, an hour a week, an hour a month?
It's all flexible. So it's an amazing opportunity to give back, but also wonderful to be able to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Ladies, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you always.
All right, Luann Hornerkamp, Jessica Gruenwald joining us today, the owners and operators of Visions of Hope and Dress to Impress. A big celebration was held with a great turnout on Tuesday at their store in downtown Farmington to mark 8 years.
Save-A-Lots at the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Park Hills, Potosi, and Farmington. They were involved as one of the sponsors of the big backpack tailgate event at the Farmington North County game the other night. And I had the brisket and a brownie and a Mountain Dew, and it was one of the best football dinners I have had. I don't know where that brisket came from, if that was a Save-A-Lot deal or if that was Bill Cotton's, or maybe somebody just like brought it and said, here, throw this in with your fundraiser. But, boy, it was so good, and they had a great crowd over there. Save-A-Lot always looking to get involved in community events, and their Facebook page is very active as well, Mark.
That's right. They've got all kinds of specials on their Facebook page, and one of the things I like the best about Save-A-Lot, though, is they stand behind their products. They have a 100% money-back guarantee that they offer as well, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you probably won't need to use that.
I don't think so. And I'm always shopping around, looking for new items to talk about on the podcast. Bailey Joe's, again, the sauces.
They had a big deal on from Bailey Joe's. They did a big giveaway with that this past week as well. And you got to love the fact that they have a butcher that puts out fresh meat every day.
Yeah, and all the locations, not just one and ship it out. It's butchers in those meat shops, making sure that your meat is fresh. Check them out, Save-A-Lots of the Parkland. They're in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. Discover FarmingtonMo.com, a great website to find out about what's happening around the area. And, of course, all kinds of great information about Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. The next big event, I think, in our area, happening September 20th and 21st. Mark, you've been involved with Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, I guess, since its inception. Talk about to somebody like me, who I will admit this on the podcast right now, has never been to Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. What should I expect?
Great music, lots of great music, really good food, lots to drink, and it's almost like a homecoming because people they'll start to filter in during the course of the day, but by about 6 o'clock, 6:30, you're going to see a whole lot of people you know, and you're going to make a whole lot of new friends. It is so much fun in beautiful downtown Farmington. The music is fabulous. It's Mojo Rising and the Blue Moon Blues Band on Friday the 20th. And then music starts at 11:30 on Saturday with the Brad Allen Band, followed by the Soulard Blues Band, which has been around forever. Casimir Taylor's Doc Dixon, Marquise Knox, and Albert Castiglia all performing. And we could tell you all about it, but better yet, we hope to have Paul in for our next episode of the Parkland Podcast to really tell us about the origins of this and what Discover Farmington has done to bring this great event to the area.
And you can find out more about this event and so many others. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com, the website. They are the official sponsor of Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, September 20th and 21st.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Years in business.
Time to get sporty on the Parkland Podcast. We begin with our Parkland Sports Live Game of the Week. What an exciting contest between the North County Raiders and Farmington Knights. North County would get out to a 14-0 lead. Meanwhile, the Knights would come back and tie it up just before halftime. A struggle in the second half, and the Raiders, led by that big offensive and defensive line, were able to pick up the touchdown win in our season opener, 24-17 over the Farmington Knights. After the ballgame, Mike Reeves had a chance to catch up with North County Raider head coach Brian Jones.
Well, Brian Jones, I'm going to start it with this. How good did that feel? An opening week win. It might not have been perfect at times, but that's a good win for your program, for your kids. How does that one feel now it's in the books?
Well, like I told the kids right there in the post-game huddle, I thanked them. we're not going to have to shop in DeSoto this weekend. We'll be able to shop in Bonne Terre.
In terms of what you take out of this, there's going to be positive and negative. That's pretty much the case with almost any football game, but this one especially, there were highs and lows and ebbs and flows. What do you take from it now, before you have a chance to watch film?
Well, we battled. We made some mistakes a couple of times that got us. You're going to have those mistakes when you got a young signal caller and he's trying to understand the game, and when something doesn't go well, we get him to the sideline. And, the thing we got now that we didn't have, not too many years ago was the sideline replay, and now we can go straight to send Brady straight to Coach Dresty and Coach McClure and Coach Compton, Coach Sheets and Coach Roth are all right there, and they're saying, hey, this is what we wanted to do here, and this is what happened, and this is what you didn't do, and this is what you need to do again. And he comes back out and fixes it the next time. So that's huge, and just being patient with him. This is an intense game. Sometimes I'm more intense than probably to a fault, but a lot of eyes are on me. I'm either the most popular guy on Saturday mornings or the least popular.
For a high school kid, any kid, much less quarterback, any position, to be able to make adjustments on the fly, take a look at something on a video and on a screen and then say, okay, I got to go implement that. Is that kind of the age of the 2024 athlete, that's what they've grown up with? They know it? Because normally I don't think of a high school kid making adjustments on the fly, but apparently coaches are telling us that's a requirement now.
It is, yeah, and the sideline stuff helps, no doubt, because, you go into, in the old days before we had this stuff, you draw it up the best you can with 2 or 3 guys watching, but now you got it on film. And if, the other thing that's good is if you see something and the guy, and you talk to the player about it, and they said, well, that's not what I did. Well, one of you is going to be right, and then we can learn from that and go from there.
What'd you think of your defense tonight?
Well, I said last year if we gave up, if we could hold teams to 24 points a game, that I liked our chances, and we held these guys to 17. I think we're just getting started offensively. We got some growth, and I also said throughout the summer in our preseason interviews that we were going to lean on our offensive and defensive lines, and they showed up tonight. These guys are a tight-knit group. Got a lot of experience out there. McKinley's the only guy that's making his first start on our offensive line. So as opposed to last year when Luke was the only guy making, that was veteran and not making his first start. So experience pays off for sure, especially when you got a young signal caller.
Wrap it up with this. Last night at Mizzou, they had a rather easy win over Murray State, but Eli Drinkwitz afterwards, his first point was, that one's done, we move forward. We can't ever let the game before matter. Is that kind of a message this week is, hey, that was a great win. We beat a rival. We did some good things, but it doesn't matter at all when we come back on the field this coming Friday. Is that kind of what coaches have to get through to kids?
Yeah, absolutely. If we get to week 10 and this is our only win, people ain't going to remember this one no more, that's for sure. There's nothing easy about our schedule this year. This one helps because, we're going to see some more power run teams that are physical, and they're going to line up and come right at us. Hopefully, at that point it's going to be, it's going to be a little cooler, and we're going to be able to, get some more guys involved. But gosh dang, everybody that we thought that had to come in off the bench tonight and play, they were ready. And it's hats off to our coaching staff for getting our backups ready and getting our subs ready to play, and us not and us not losing anything. If we're too deep at all of our positions, then that's going to help us down the stretch.
Great to see you again, and look forward to doing this quite a bit throughout the rest of the year. Congrats on a good win.
Thanks, Mike. It's great to see you guys again. It's been a long time, and it feels good to have the old gang back.
Thank you, sir.
And after the contest, Mike got a chance to visit with Farmington head coach Eric Krupe.
Knights fall 24-17 tonight in North County, and the game had a little bit of everything. We talked at halftime. There was some up, down, and all around. What's your initial take from it before you get a chance to really sit down and analyze it on film?
Well, I know that when we go ahead and we do analyze it on film, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. We didn't play the way that we were capable of. We see things in the summer, we see things in the fall camp. Again, going back to the jamboree from last Friday, a lot of the things that we did positively there, we didn't quite do today, or vice versa. The things that we hadn't been doing negatively, showed themselves today. And so we've got to figure out why that's the case. And we've just got to go back to the drawing board. really the silver lining is, that old adage, you improve the most between your first and second game. So we're going to have to refresh, watch film, make those corrections, and then move forward.
Just talking to Coach Jones about this on his side, because obviously they got things to work on too, although they got to win. How much is it important to these kids at this age, even at this time? They have to adjust quickly, and it seems like that's a lot to put on a plate of a high school kid, but that's kind of where things are now. That you have to be able to make those adjustments and do them in a hurry. Is that something you've seen from your kids that you know they're fully capable of?
Oh, I think we're capable of doing that, yeah. We just got to go ahead and obviously get that done.
Was there any aspect of the game tonight that, from a negative perspective, not playing as well as you thought you could, that stood out more than others that you thought, wow, I can't believe we're doing that? Anything like that?
Again, we'd have to go back to the film and, really do a hard, deep dive evaluation and go from there.
When you look at week one of a season, regardless of outcome, if you'd have won tonight, regardless, how does week one generally set the tone for a year? Do you see it mattering much by the time you get to the middle of the year, to the end of the year, or is this just the first of a long journey?
It's one step. Obviously it can set a tone, but at the same point in time, it can set it positively, but it doesn't mean it's going to set it negatively either, and so again, it is just that first step in a journey. There's I guess 9 more that are guaranteed, and then you got to keep winning to get those next ones, but ultimately we again move forward from it.
We look forward to seeing you down the road, and we'll talk to you many times throughout the course of the year.
Sounds good, thank you.
And again, 24-17, the final score. What a game, what a broadcast, and we appreciate everybody who logged in, commented, and shared. And we also appreciate all the great sponsors who came out in groves for that first week. Next week's ball game, Jefferson at Central. What are some other scores from week one of the high school football season, Mark?
Perryville got their season off to a good start, 28-14 over Fredericktown.
It was Potosi, big over St. Clair, 41-14 in a game that was shortened by lightning.
Valley Catholic looks good once again this year, scoring a 47-14 win over Monroe City.
They're not the only Catholic school on this side of the state with a great start. St. Vincent, a 53-0 win over St. Genevieve.
It was DeSoto, 21-13 over Freeburg, Illinois.
And Windsor spoils the new turf at Herculaneum as the Black Cats fall 22-21 to the Owls. And one other game to tell you about, the Central Rebels had their game against Owensville pushed back to Saturday. They still pick up the win 22-13 over the Dutchmen. Mineral Area College women's program 2-1 to start the season. The men, however, 1-2. Mineral Area College volleyball, a victory over St. Louis Community College to begin their season. And how about the Missouri Tigers on Thursday night, Mark?
MIZZOU. I didn't get to tune into the game until about a little over halfway through the first quarter. It was already over. It was already 28-0. But Mizzou looked really, really good.
They did. Now, granted, Murray State, I think they said 60 of the players on that team were not there last year. Brand new head coach, brand new staff. Not much racer magic. Donna Hickman was pulling very hard for her alma mater, though. I know that.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, Donna?
I'm sure she did not get razzed by anybody in the state of Missouri Friday morning.
But you know what? You never know with week one of the season how things are going to go. Just ask the team that played in Ireland.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they were like considered huge favorites to win, and they ended up losing. Georgia Tech beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so week 2, it'll be Jefferson at Central. We're pulling Brandon Geiler out of retirement for the call.
The G-Man.
The G-Man will be joined by Jake Whitener, who did a great job at the Farmington North County game Friday night. And we'll have the rest of our crew there as well. Wyatt Colley, Jacob Towers, and Mike Reeves will be patrolling the sidelines again. And he'll bring us some post-game interviews that will air every week here on the Parkland Podcast during our sports segment.
And more credit once again going out to our cameraman, because the picture that I watched the game on last week was just so crystal clear. They did a great job.
Yeah, we're very, very happy. And again, thank you so much to all the sponsors for supporting this event. And if you want to get in, we have 9 more football broadcasts to go. Just give Teresa Baughman a call or reach out to our Facebook page, and we'll get you in touch and get your message out there in front of all those eyeballs every Friday night.
And if you're wondering about the St. Louis Cardinals, let's wrap it all up by saying plenty of good seats still available.
That picture of the national anthem this week.
Not pretty. I hope the owners were were fully aware of what was going on there or what wasn't going on.
I think so. There you go. That is sports on the Parkland Podcast. John Robinson, Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is a salesperson now. He was the manager, and he said, I don't like these responsibilities. I'm going to go back to selling cars. And that is to your advantage because he's so good. He knows how the whole process works, been doing it for 33 years, and makes things easy. He's not pushy. He just wants to help you find the car you like.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about John Robinson. There's a lot to like about John. He knows his business when it comes to the automobile industry, but he is such a laid-back guy. Mm-hmm. You're going to go in and sit down in his office and tell him what you want, what you're looking for, what your budget is, and he's gonna listen to you. Oh, not every car salesperson you can say that about.
Yeah.
But he's actually going to listen to you, and then he's going to find a vehicle that's right for you and your budget. And I know you have kids going back to school. You're needing a good second car or maybe a third car for kids that aren't the most experienced of drivers, whether they're going to Mineral Area College and back or maybe driving to SEMO or Three Rivers or Jefferson College. You want them in a quality vehicle. That's what John will help you find at Pettis.
701-8002, 701-8002, the phone number. There's a reason he has literally sold thousands of vehicles over the years. Find out for yourself. John Robinson, Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Let's do some music now. Tom Toti's favorite segment on the Parkland Podcast, and Mark Toti's favorite segment too, I think, right?
It's one of them. I love looking at my old albums.
All right, Song of the Week. You got a song to share with us?
I do. This goes back to my youth. This goes back to when I was really young. Iron Man from Black Sabbath.
Yes.
Heard it on the way over today. Ba-da-bow, ba-da-dow. That was such a great song going back to 1972. They've had bigger hits as far as the charts go, but that has got to be, in my mind, their signature song.
Absolutely. The quintessential Black Sabbath. What about for album?
Album of the year, The Doors, L.A. Woman. This song has, of course, L.A. Woman on it, but also the great tune, Riders on the Storm. Bum-ba-da-dum-bum-bum. But what really is significant about this album, other than those two songs, this was the last album recorded with Jim Morrison, who died a couple of months after this was released.
Wow. Very, very cool. Great album there. All right, for song, I'm going to go into my youth as well. St. Louis and Lou Rawls in 1976 had the big break. Yeah, Lou Rawls, baby. Big breakthrough song, You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine. And I heard that the other day, and I was, kind of rocking out, had the window down, and then like a car pulled up next to me, and I'm like, I'm sitting here rocking out to Lou Rawls. I wonder what they're thinking. But no, I always thought that was an awesome song, and again, being a St. Louisan, it always comes out, and we talk about that a lot. But just loved his voice. Should I say? I think he's a better singer than Barry White.
I don't know about that. Yeah. But very distinct.
Yeah. Now Barry White is a better talker. Like I want him to read the script for my biopic. But Lou Rawls had such a great voice. All right, for album, let's go with Kansas right here, baby. As we bring you two for the show, and was this the breakthrough, the first release for Kansas?
No, this was their live album.
Okay,
it's got every hit song you'd ever want to hear.
And my favorite is Icarus.
Great tune.
I love that tune. Love the violin in that song.
Well, what you really need to do when you listen to this, listen to that song. Listen to Song for America. That was a song that turned me on to Kansas back in the mid-1970s. But they have a great version of Dust in the Wind that segues into a couple of other songs. Fabulous. You will not be disappointed.
2 for the show, live from Kansas, and
must have.
Oh yeah, that is an absolute fantastic album, and I'm glad you brought that in for me, Mark, because my record player still has about this much crap on top of it, so I can't open. It's one of those old like console, like those stand-up ones, and my grandparents had it, and my grandma said, "Do you want this?" Because there's like a picture of me standing naked by it when I'm like, 6 months old.
None of us want to see that.
Well, here it is, right there.
By the way, I do want to apologize to your father-in-law for taking his job from him.
No, that's okay. I don't think he sent me anything this week. Or if he did, he forgot or I forgot. But that's okay. I'm sure Jim Whaley will have another cool album and song recommendation for me next week, because that's also his favorite part of the Parkland podcast every week. Kettle beef dinner tickets. We need to give those away. Let's go ahead.
Pairs.
We have 5 pair, so let's do this. If you comment in the YouTube link, I want kettle beef tickets, we will give those to you. We'll just get your name from you, and we'll send that information on to Ursula. I think Ursula Warren, the director of the Senior Center.
Send us your name and a way to contact you.
Okay. So we need to, or can they pick them up at the thing?
They can,
Okay.
but we just need to let them know that they're the winners.
That's true, yeah, because we could send that message out and they never look at their messages, and good call. That's why this guy's been doing it for a long time. He knows how to give stuff away. So, let's do that. Message us on the YouTube, and if we don't have enough by a certain date, I'll put something out on Facebook as well. So keep an eye on the Facebook page, too. I think it's going to be delicious. I can't wait to go check it out next Saturday. And again, we appreciate Ursula coming on to chat with us about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's coming up this weekend, so definitely take advantage of a great meal for a great cause.
All right. Big thank you to Maddie Erwin, to all the folks with Hope for Autism, and everybody with the Deloge Labor Day Picnic. Don't forget, Monday, 9 a.m., we will be live streaming the Deloge Labor Day Parade. That's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing you all in the park on Monday.
I'll be at the beer tent.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. Say hi to Mark Toti, and check out our logo on the big video board during the Deloge Labor Day Picnic as well on Monday. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week for episode 14 of the Parkland Podcast.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.